One, two, three. Hello everyone and welcome yet again for another Total Warcast. I'm your host, Daily, reporting, almost live from Snowtown, Norway, and this is the Total Warcast, a small independent podcast done by me. Today joining me is Gunny.
Hello.
Yes. Funny, I hate that little pause right there, because everybody has that little pause. Why don't you say hello? Christ, it's... Yeah, whatever. You're good. You're getting the hang of it. So for you who doesn't remember Gunny, he was on my how many times have you been on now? 3?
Once before. For the last one in the last season.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, that's right. We did that best game of the year thing. Yeah. So today we are on the first EPI TeamSpeak. I am switching TeamSpeak because I had to format my computer and I lost the channel I'm usually using for recording now. So yeah, everything is a little bit ramshackly. I don't even have all the editing software I use, so it's gonna be a late night. But hey, everything for the listeners, right? Johnny, goddammit, feed me some here. You're supposed to be a co-host today.
Well, you're sort of giving your monologue, so...
Yeah, you're a bit low, by the way.
Alright.
Mic and mouth, remember from episode 16?
Yes, I remember.
Yes, it sounds like there's some kind of gay bar in here or something. Yes, deeper, into the mouth.
Well, okay then. Remember, yeah. There's children listening.
Yeah, and grandmas. And grandfathers. Yeah, I just had to... beer time. It's I only had... this season I've only done 2 warcasts with beer because of my financial standing. Luckily my father is home this week, so hey, some support. No, I'm in the job searching process. I was actually on the interview on Monday, so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it went pretty well. You know, I'm... like native in my country. I speak fluently Norwegian and English. I think at least English, some fluently. And,
I hope Norwegian, at least.
Ja, jeg kan snakke norsk, men da forstår jo ingen meg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speak like the German. Yeah, so today actually, I'm sorry for rambling. I'm a little bit stressed out because of everything I'm missing, the programs, and it's gonna be a long night because of the rendering time I use and all that. One of the good news is that I have talked to Ged, which is the owner of the server, and he has agreed to let me upload my podcast in audio form, MP3s, on the site. Well, not on the site, but it's on our sort of a server which will store mods and files and all that. So you guys can finally hear it on your MP3s. That's amazing.
Sorry, that's gonna be Atlas, right? The new server that he just ordered.
Yes, it will be. And all my warcasts, I'll upload everyone so everybody can download it. And I think it's gonna be a huge asset. Even though probably just 1 of 10 will download instead of listening maybe to it on YouTube. It's still like I want to reach out to more people, and this is what I've been waiting for so long now, so it's gonna be great. I'm excited. So you see, Gunny, progress. Yeah, it's alright. So yeah, sorry, I'm rambling again. So that's the good news. It's actually we actually have some other news as well, not the good kind or the bad. Well, we have some bad news as well, but you know, news, gaming news. So Gunny, do you want to head off on the first one?
Sure. The first one in the news bucket is Assassin's Creed 3. It looks like
No. Peter Molyneux. You know.
Go on with that one.
Okay, I'll say it. You can do Assassin's Creed afterwards. So for those who doesn't know, is that I don't know what you want to call it, the creative director or something, Peter Molyneux, who works in Lionhead. He's the one who worked on Fable and Black and White. Has quit in Lionhead, which is understandable since it's like now it's just a corporal cow for Microsoft. So he's off to other grazing grounds, which is well, just a little news. So we'll see where he ends up. So I wish him good luck. Sorry, Gunny, you can go on now.
Well, it looks like Assassin's Creed 3 is going to be coming to PC for us. Definitely going to have, not just going to be on the consoles with the weird controls. You can actually be able to use the nicer PC controls. In
Yeah.
my opinion, at least, I personally prefer the PC controls for Assassin's Creed.
No, actually, I've the problem for me was that I started out with on consoles. So for me, I'm actually more more adapted on console for playing Assassin's Creed, and you have to agree that the system that it works on, with the running and with all that, it's really designed for controls. But I'm happy to get it on PC because I will get more performance out of it. I feel I love to game in front of a computer. I can't really do it on. I don't really have a gaming place for my Xbox games or console games.
Yeah, but sorry. I suppose, I mean, I can see how it can be nicer on consoles. I mean, it's a little bit more fluid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just prefer having a button for everything.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I like the keyboard and all that. I still think there's a lot of things people can improve. That's a problem with a lot of the console ports, is that they have really bad optimization for, the PC version of the game. For example, with Skyrim. But luckily we have modding, so if not, it would be hell. So yeah, so that's good. Assassin's Creed out on PC. So that's the news for that one. The next one is actually something I'm looking half forward to. It has potential, and that is a Game of Dwarfs, which is basically a rip-off of Dwarf Fortress in a very dumbed-down version. That means that if anybody hasn't played Dwarf Fortress, it's basically a a overview management game. So you manage your dwarves in a very... It has no graphics at all, you can almost say. It's just small icons representing your dwarves and all your items. And you build up a fortress, including like items, beds. You have to make food, all that. And then same in the game of dwarves, you have a mood of dwarves, you have enemies you have to fight, you do all that. So, I don't know. Have you heard of it before, Gunny?
No, I haven't. I mean, I know Dwarf Fortress and stuff like that, but I haven't actually heard of Game of Dwarves until I saw the announcement trailer over on YouTube.
Yeah.
It looks interesting, though.
Yeah. Would be nice if this could be like a stepping stone to get people to play Dwarf Fortress. But I think that's shot in the dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on. We don't have all day. We are actually having a full-packed Warcast day. So moving on. Next news is last week with Omnipotent, we talked about the Steam box. Rumors were surfacing about Valve developing a Steam box, which was the reason for us not getting episode 3. But Valve has denied these rumors by releasing a statement, and what they actually have been working on is that Steam works better on TVs. I don't know if it's resolution, another kind of setup, that it's more fluent or bigger buttons or whatever. I don't know, but at least they've been just the thing they've been working on is actually improving Steam. Which is understandable since EA is probing them with the Origin. So yeah.
Yeah, that would be understandable. I'm definitely interested if they do decide to go into the realm of consoles sometime later on, because I know Valve is usually very mod friendly. So it'd really be interesting to see how that works out.
If they actually could make a console which would show those console dirty peasant people that actually modding is fun and can be used for every platform.
Exactly.
But then they have to use a computer to mod, so...
Well, it depends on how they make the console. I mean,
True.
They could completely break the paradigm, who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, at least. Moving on, actually this is we're back in the EA punching bag run. Because a video has resurfaced. Probably a lot of you guys who have played Mass Effect 3 have seen this video. I actually have to admit that I have been playing Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2 since the last Warcast. So I've been, because well, we have a lot of spare time, you use it for games. And I have to say, I understand a little bit more now the reason why people are very upset of the From Ashes DLC. I don't know. Do you heard about this case, right, Gunny?
I've heard about it. People have been complaining about it on the EPI, but I'm not actually into it because I don't have Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, that's the same thing about me. You know, I had the same thought. But then I started playing it, and then I understood what everybody is complaining about. And okay, so the story goes is that EA decided to release a DLC from day one. They said that this DLC was not created from the core game. This was developed by another team after the core game was finished. Now, the video that was released shows that they have lied. For one, that he found in the core game, he found the Prothean. The Prothean is a race in Mass Effect which has been extinct for 50,000 years, and they are actually a huge part of the story, so to say. But well, the thing is that the video shows that they lied, basically.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I've read a little bit more about it, and it really seems like it's. It looks. I can see where people think that they're lying about it. Though.
Where you think they lied about it?
I mean,
dude, the content in From Ashes was developed by a separate team after the core game was finished, and not completed until well after the main game went into certification. They said that, and then he goes into the main game, without any DLC installed, checks the core game files and finds the Prothean dude, and he just changed a little bit of numbers, and then boom, he has a Prothean in game.
Yeah, but I mean, is it the full guy in game?
Yes, he has it as a companion.
Everything, the conversations, the dialogue options, everything.
Yeah, apparently.
Well, then that's definitely a little bit more fishy, but
we would never take stuff out of the core game. The first one was Michael Gamble, associate producer. He said on February 23, with the quote I said in 2012. Then Casey Hudson, damn it, say it's Gunny. I'm losing track here.
The executive, the
producer?
CEO, executive producer.
Yeah. March 2nd, 2012. We would never take stuff out of the core game and only have it in DLC. What? Okay, dude. Like, this is. I didn't make such a huge deal out of it when I had Rem. No, actually, I had it on Remlap. I remember talking to him about this, and I didn't make such a huge deal out of it because I didn't really know anything about the Mass Effect universe. But when you play the game, and the thing is, like, I don't really care about the DLC that much. But the thing I really hate is lying. Like, out in your face lying. And this is like, okay, fine, there's different people, you know, it could have like been a misunderstanding, should we say this and this, and they probably regretted the hell out of it after they done it. But still, it's from two persons, especially these quotes from the video. It just states that they lied the fans in the face about this content, and that's just wrong in my sense. It just shows so little, what you call it, lack of balls and spine. Just saying, fine, we had it in the DLC, deal with it. It's like, this is something we decided as a company. Instead of that, they lie.
As something else that was stated by them, in order to seamlessly integrate Javik into the core campaign, certain framework elements and character models need to be put on disk. They did something similar with Zaid and Kasumi in Mass Effect 2.
Oh yeah, Kasumi. Yeah, I like how they designed the asses in Mass Effect, you know. Got some alien butts up in here.
I'm sure that's what you play.
I'm playing Renegade as hell. I'm just trying to pick up chicks everywhere, you know. Going. I have, what you call it, I have a different women in on every planet instead of every port. Yeah, no, it's fun. I really love the openness of it, even though I got really pissed at Mass Effect 2's ending. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but yeah. It was my own laziness that did it, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, so whatever, let's move on with yeah, well, actually, this is old news, very old news, and we will talk about this in the forum frenzy a little bit about this, and that is Sega has revealed Total War Battles, and which is a small game used for iOS and Android phones, which is going to be a well, a kind of small game based off of Total War. So yeah, we'll talk more about that in the forum frenzy. Sorry, Gunny, you still here?
Yes, I am.
Have you played Sins of a Solar Empire?
I have not.
Okay, fine. I'll keep talking then. Next news on the list. I'm sorry I have to talk about this since I have a little bit whatever. Sins of a Dark Age update. Even though Ironclad have had a huge success with Sins of a Solar Empire, as we know. Sorry, my voice is cracking up again. They have only hired. Well, this is a kind of fun fact. They made Sins of Solar Empire, it seems, with 9 guys, and they have only hired 3 more people when they're making now the Sins of a Dark Age, which is a runner like in Dota style. We have heroes running around with allies, like AI allies, and then you have like a real-time strategy where you build a base and defend and all that. It's like a I don't know. Yeah, but they say they proclaim themselves that this will be different than all the other ones, and they will focus more on a story between the characters and how they interact with each other and stuff like that. So you will be more compelled to play the single player campaign. I think it will be multiplayer as well. So I checked the pictures and all that, and I read on Rock Paper Shotgun the first looks, and I wasn't really that impressed because I've never really liked Dota stuff games. I don't know, Gunny, do you have played any of those?
Oh, the Dota style?
Yeah.
Not fully. I mean, I tried some of the Warcraft stuff a really long time ago, but.
Yeah, well, I tried Horn and not Dota, but Heroes of New Earth and League of Legends because a lot of my friends got into it. But I never really liked that type of game, and especially the people playing it. There's a lot of bad people on there.
It always seemed too zoomed out for me.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You're a little bit low again, so yeah. Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. I'm just thinking about the guys listening. I can hear you fine, but if anybody else, listen to this, they will have difficulty hearing you. So, but it doesn't matter. Sins of Dark Age. It seems that they're taking a different turn. Ironclad. I hope they will do fine because I really enjoyed the game. But this might not be completely for me. But hell, you can't get them all, right? So yeah, that's the news bucket for today. I have not. I've scoured a little bit. There's a lot. I could have had 10 more news on here, but I felt that this should do it. So I don't know. Do you have anything Gunny, that you've picked up?
Not really much. That's going on that I can think of in the game world.
So basically a no. Okay.
Yeah, basically a no.
Okay.
Still.
Yeah. Okay, so let's hop into Forum Frenzy. This is actually the first Forum Frenzy I've done since I got back from Australia. The reason being is that I didn't really want to have a topic. I didn't find any good topics. We could have talked about DLC and all the good old stuff, and Steam, for example. But to be honest, I didn't find any subjects that really interested me. But today I actually found a subject that really pissed me off, which I'm gonna it seems that we talked a little bit before we started, and it seems that we're not actually completely agreeing on this, which will be fun because yeah, that's the point of it, a little discussion. So Gunny, I'm gonna just introduce the topic today. It's about Total War battles. And the subject of this actually little small discussion is that there was a lot of users complaining about CA designing a game like this. They thought it was a waste of time, for example. They thought that it was a waste of resources, and that they used a lot of I'm not gonna name names because I'm not like that, but it's still like some of them said that this is the reason why Empire sucked, because resources was used the wrong way and all that. This shows how little you care and all that. So yeah, that's the subject of actually what it's like. A lot of people see that the Total War battles is a waste of resources. So no, what do you think, Gunny?
Personally, I think that it kind of is, though I suppose that if it's a totally different team, that'd be one thing, but at the same time, it's the creative assembly. I don't think that it's really worth it to be making a whole new iOS app and so on for the phones and iPads. It's just, I think that it's a slight waste of resources. Though I do suppose that they've got their stuff spread out enough to be continuing to work on the engine.
Yeah, that's the thing that I want to talk about, because Craig said immediately that it is 8 people of 200 who's working on this. So they brought in new people, and some of those people were like the mobile game experts and all that. Well, experts, he used those words, but at least they are focused on these kind of games. There's a complete other way of thinking of it when you're designing those kind of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can't even, you're designing it all from the ground up.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just seems like everybody's waiting for the next thing, and this next thing is a iOS app, and I can see why a lot of people are disappointed and don't really
because it's not Rome 2.
Personally, I think that Rome 2 would be a bad idea, but
you will not hop into that because you don't know nothing, you ignorant. I bring you on here and you say stuff like that.
If
I'm
you
just
want
joking.
to go
I'm
after this, I'd be happy to, but
yeah. You're a little bit low again, just so you know.
Thank you. But looking at all the pictures, it looks interesting. The way that they do it with the what are they called? Like the hexagons.
like Civilization 5 type.
Yeah, it's like Civ 5. It's definitely interesting. And the way that it's on a bit of a lower scale, but I don't know. It just seems like everybody wants the next new thing. Personally, I'd like a new campaign map for Napoleon, but that's just selfish and personal. And it's not going to happen. But everybody, people want Rome 2, people want, an Empire 2 or a Victoria Total War, and this is what they see as the next thing.
And you want Napoleon new map.
And this is what people see as the next new Total War installment, and they're not happy. So, I can understand it.
Yeah, well, sure, I can understand why they get... But, seriously, that's something that really annoys me. Is that people are openly, they're really hateful. I don't know where to get all this hate from. CA, do your jobs, make Rome 2, or whatever, make something... game, bring back modding,
that
cure cancer.
That irks me sometimes a little bit. It's one thing, for the petition for mod support, but it's a whole nother thing when it's people complaining about little things like what's people with their CA
the
conspiracy
bow
theories.
Right.
And,
they don't have bayonets in Fall of the Samurai.
Well, not even that. It's just the Steam people. That's definitely my biggest pet peeve.
Actually, I wanted to bring one of them, one of the hugest. I thought about Humble Warrior because he, a valiant defender of not having Steam. I actually thought about bringing him on here just to.
Bring him and get Craig.
Yeah. No, no, oh my god, that would be horrible. I think that would be like a fist fight in here, and I have to break it up. Hey, 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 that's enough out of you. Sit down in the corner.
Ring the bell.
Yeah.
Go 10
Ding, ding,
rounds.
ding, ding, ding. Round 2. I will rip your skull off. No, actually, no, I've been talking about this, the negativity, and yes, I agree with being, being a critic, say, okay, guys, I don't really like this. You should do something about it. But my main grief is when you complain as you attack almost people for, stuff that really doesn't matter that much. Yeah, yes, it annoys me that we don't have new animation for Bayonet. But really, when I look at the gameplay and stuff like that, I get drawn to it. Even though I didn't read the German. I just got the main translation of it on the forums. Like for example, that the late tech of trains and Fall of the Samurai is gonna make that it doesn't really matter that much strategically, and that sucks as well because that's one of the things I think is majorly important for a game like this. And if they're gonna make a First World War, trains will be important. So introducing it.
I actually, personally, I see. Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff, with people talking with such hubris, such, insistence, that so apparently CA is making enough money to stay afloat, so they're not doing something that horribly wrong.
No.
But the people yelling at them almost as if they're their actual boss is, it annoys me. I mean, I know that, a customer, you do supply them with the money technically, but they respond to the way the market is. And
Yeah.
if, the 10 people who want to boycott them because of Steam isn't really going to make that big of a difference.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I've always been a very laid back guy, and I've the only game I ever boycotted. Sorry. All the beer is getting to me. No, I'm just joking. No, for example, I boycotted one game in my life, which I said, okay, screw it. I'm not gonna buy this anyhow, even though it would be fun for I don't know, 10 hours. That was Modern Warfare 3. It seems that a lot of guys have followed suit, not because they're boycotting it and making a statement, but basically because they're tired of it. They're tired of the gameplay. They're tired of the whole thing. And that's something I've always, like I said, I don't care that much. Yeah, sure, some things really annoy me. Yes, I think that we should have this and that. I think that the CA has made some blunders, and I think that they should go for a little bit more safe style they've gone for in Shogun 2, which we saw, and more polished, and they can actually just slowly grow in size from there, instead of like they did with Empire and just took bite over way too big apple, But still, it's like I said. Sorry, I'm just gonna finish this. And like I say, but still, a lot of people are still holding. Well, that's on the internet. Everyone's a hero, right? And that's my little bit of problem, especially on this. It's little small things, Oh, well, you wasting resources. It's an 8-man team trying to make a Android and iOS game, which will bring in money, which will maybe bring in more people that can work on the main game. It's like you have 190 people working on the next Total War game. Isn't that enough?
Yeah.
Sorry, rant over. You can. Sorry.
Yeah, I completely agree for the most part. Yeah, that's redundant, but so I mean, I'm interested in also seeing how this mobile game pans out. It's interesting the resources that they're using. See how much space also it'll take on the iOS. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll be playing Shogun 2 for my iPhone.
Oh, you're one of those. You have a high iPhone. I have an old Sony Ericsson, which you flip up. You know those flippy things. You just yeah. I have that one.
I had the same phone for about 5 years, and then I got picked out of my pocket. So and AT&T offered me a free iPhone. So yeah, I'm gonna take it.
That's your punishment for wearing baggy jeans or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, you were wearing baggy jeans. If not, I think I actually like someone grabbing down your pocket.
That's kind of creepy. I'll have to reinstate your channel here.
Yeah, actually, that's kind of funny. Gunny is actually lieutenant of my what do you call it, platoon or?
Yeah, it's in. I suppose if you want to use the EPI version, it's a Zug.
Yeah, whatever. On Mount Musket, which I've talked about like last year. I should actually start promoting it again because get more people in there.
Hopefully the patch will come soon.
Dude, we've been talking for the patch for like about 7 months. It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I'm keeping my hopes down, just to be sure.
Shoot low and you'll never be disappointed.
Exactly. So I don't know. Have you remembered how long we were talking? 30 minutes? A little bit? 20?
Yeah, about 30 minutes.
Okay. Well, you're a little bit low again. Just.
Yep, it keeps.
Yeah. Yeah. We are actually waiting for a Dutchman. Yeah, I know that sounds weird. General Brewster has agreed to. Well, he didn't agree to anything. He actually approached me. This is how you do it, people. If you're just a normal listener and you like a mod, just tell them you guys need more exposure. Talk to Daily because he'll have you on there. He approached me today and said, "Dude, could you like talk about the mod, my mod? What's it called again? 1650, isn't that?
It's a 1600s mod. I know that it talks a bit deals a bit with the Dutch East India Company, I think it is.
Yeah, that's the whole point of it when Netherlands rise to power.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's so he approached me. So just so you know that I'm here. I try to do this every Wednesday, and yeah. So we are waiting for him. He's gonna be on in 30 minutes. So we will break it off here. We will wait for him, and then we'll start up Mod Corner, the first Mod Corner of this year. So yes, we off for now. So see ya in 30 minutes. And we're back after a little break. Gunny has left us since he got dinner and family stuff, so I have to continue on my own, sadly. But luckily, he has been replaced by General Brewster from the TWC, and today's Mod Corner, we're actually gonna have a Mod Corner, hooray! It's gonna be about 1650, a mod that has recently hit beta stages, hasn't it, Brewster?
Yes, totally.
Yes, so today we are going to talk about that one. Brewster just is from the Netherlands, as I've lurked a little bit on his profile just to get some information on him.
Yes, totally true. I come from Rotterdam in the Netherlands.
Awesome. So yeah, so today we're going to talk about you're the leader of the mod 1650, and it's a mod from Empire Total War, and it concentrates on the first 4 years before the first Dutch Anglo War. So it's at the height at the Republic of the Seven United Netherlands, as it says on the front page.
Yes, it's a very turbulent period in Dutch history. We're just 50 years after the starting of the companies from the VOC and the GWIC, which means
it's like East India and
yes.
Okay.
The VOC is in the east and the GWEC is in the west. And the VOC almost controls everything in the east, while the East Indies, which nowadays is Indonesia and the Cape of Good Hope in Africa, and the GWIC is in currently Americas, and we controlled New York there, actually before the English got it, and some parts of Brazil, but they're not in Empire Total War, so we couldn't simulate that, sadly.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's quite early time period, and you wanted to focus especially on the Dutchman, since you're a Dutchman yourself.
Yes, but we also focus on the Swedes, because most members of the team. We have 2 team members that come from Sweden. Then I come from the Netherlands, and my mentor Bevancourt, he comes from the Spanish. So it's a bit. We try to get the most factions of team members first, and then we go on the other European nations, and of course the factions in India, which weren't colonized back then.
Oh, how nice. Well, if you need any help on the Danish-Norwegian side, just call me, because those Swedes, we can't have them be better than us, so I have to outdo them with all things.
We'll sure do that then.
Yeah, goddamn Swedes everywhere. Yeah, so it actually looks kind of cool to get. I've seen some of the unit models. I could show some pictures, but it's gonna take forever to edit and all that. But they have. I'm gonna post a link in the description and on the site on the thread of this, and I'll post the video also with your way to the standard thread of the mod. It's how long you got into beta? How far have you gotten, like in like campaign map and units and all that? Like how many percentage do you think you're at?
Well, the campaign map, it's pretty historically, but only the factions in India give us a bit of a headache, because our team is mostly beginning modders, and we're still figuring out how to do stuff and shit. But
Yeah.
most things are going to be like the companies of each nation will try to make a protectorate of the main nation. So, like the Netherlands have about all the Empire Total War mod have regions in all theaters, but that gives a huge advantage in trade income and stuff. So we're going to try to make them protectorates, and then make them still playable. So if you play with the Netherlands main nation, you don't get like 20,000, well, how you want to call the valuta they use.
Kroners, let's just call them kroners for the hell.
Yeah. So they don't get 20,000 kroners of income each turn. Well, that's something we really needed to take in mind, because if it's like, it would be the same if you make an 1800s mod and you give Britain all territories in India, they would get huge amounts of money each turn, which will make the game very unbalanced for other nations.
Well, actually, Britain on that time period were actually quite overpowered, so.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's really a difficult time period to make the mod, which you can't alter everything in the game itself.
Yeah. Now modding is quite limited, but it seems that you've done a lot, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's our focus to make an entire overhaul, but you can see, when we began, Captain
It's alright.
WSQ, Captain WSQ, and me started the mod, and when we started it, the initial plans of making the mod were months ago, even before we released it to the public. So we're not really modders back then. We're just a couple guys with a plan to make a mod.
Well, that's the way to start, not everyone can be a like a good already established modder. Everybody has to start somewhere, and well, then we understand that the develop time is gonna get a little bit extended because you guys are working out the knots and such, which for example, guys who have done modding a long time, they don't actually have to worry about stuff like that.
Yeah.
But will you keep continuing the work and give out like regular updates?
Yeah, surely. We just released another version, and our main goal is to listen to the people. They're actually people who will play the mod anyway, so why would make it like we want it? Well, we are only 5 people, where the players who actually play it day and night will be, well, we hope to be like 1,000.
Exactly, it's the same with the Warcast, even though nobody gives me any feedback, so I just go with my own way. But if anybody did give me feedback, I try to incorporate them. Well,
yes. like a month ago, there was a guy posting in the V1650 thread about us having problems with armored infantry, that they're dying too fast, like in real life, they wouldn't die so fast. So I actually, that afternoon, when I come back from work, I was going through the files and seeing that I mixed some stuff up, and that same afternoon I fixed it all, and I get the feedback through to the players, and they were entirely happy that I fixed it the same day. I think that's very important in a mod like this.
Yeah, you take the feedback and then you actually do something about it instead of just going for what you guys feel is correct.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. No, of course, like that's something that everybody has to take into consideration when doing something like this. That they have first you have to think about the playability of it. Do you have fun when playing it, and then you can think about like working out all the kinks with the history and all that.
Yeah, indeed. That's entirely what our source of work is. We do much historical research. The same with the reload time in Empire Total War. It's much too long to actually resemble the historical reload times. Because in the 1700s, the Prussians could reload and fire their musket in 10 seconds. Which actually in game time took about 20 seconds.
Yeah, well, not everyone can be as well. You have to, if not, half your regiment would just be decimated, before you can look away. But sure.
Yeah, indeed.
No, to be honest, I hope that it looks really good. To be honest, is there like how can I say? What's the plans for the next? Like, you release beta now. Are you gonna wait for the feedback, or do you already have plans for the next version of it?
No, we're already working on the next version. We mostly make one version, then I have it finished a couple of days on my laptop already. Then I upload it. Then I let a few team members test a few turns to see if there are no major problems. And then we're sending it out to the people, which now came a bit too fast because Master Big Up made a video for us. And I was a bit too fast with uploading the files, which gave us problems, which I later need to fix, which wasn't so good for the players. And though, then you fix it, and then still you have people coming back who don't read the first post of the feed, and then you have to explain people that I did something wrong where they think I did everything okay. So they need to re-download everything and place the other files again, and then eventually can start playing. But then they're already 3 days having the version on their PC, but not able to play it. So that's really something which is hard to get sometimes, but it's still something that is part of the modding process, I think.
It is failure and perfection.
Yeah.
So yeah, God, even I want to start to get into modding. It's just that I haven't, dared myself to do it.
Well, I must say I had a very rough start first. I was looking out TWC for years, really years, checking for RTW mods, and just, checking if there are nice mods. And then on the day I came across the Great War for Napoleon Total War, and I thought, hey, that's a very nice mod. I need to buy Napoleon Total War. So I bought it, and I played the game, and I really thought, this is nice. Why don't I do the same? So I joined the forums and started asking around if someone could teach me it. But everyone was busy, you know how it goes with great mods guys and shit.
Yeah.
They're just too busy to teach noobs like me. And one day I was cruising around at the Europe in Conflict mod, hosted modifications, and I came across Benford, and I added him on Steam, and he agreed to teach me it. And it needed to be fast because the day afterwards he was actually going on a holiday.
So it's like crash course in modding.
Yeah, but it took about 2 hours, and I made my first big changes the game files. And I
Wow.
think 3 weeks later, I posted the idea of V1650 on the forum, so that was pretty fast.
That's really nice. God, if it like that's the thing I'm really afraid of. I don't really want to start with. It sounds so terrifying. Oh, you're gonna make a mod. It really sounds hard, But if you do it correctly, it seems the way you say it right now, it shouldn't be too hard.
It isn't too hard, but on the other hand, when you change some values and they're not correct, the game crashes to desktop. So, and sometimes I can't even find it, and then I'll upload the files and let Renfreport check them out. Only because he just have more experience than me. And then 2 days after that, he will send me a private message on TWC and then say it was that and that, which is totally makes sense when you check it, but just because you're a noob in modding, you just don't know it.
Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, exactly. So.
Got you speechless there.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like back to a little bit of the mod. Okay, sorry. So your initial thoughts of like you got into modding, and then how long was it until you posted pretty quickly the plans for it, but how did it like before it started really kicking into gear and becoming a mod as it is now?
Well, I think I posted it. I posted in November, if I'm correct, and I think somewhere in December we came out with first beta. One of the most complicated things of getting a mod off the ground is getting people who actually can mod, don't abandon the project, and finding people who can make unit models and textures. And those guys are really hard to find actually.
They're
And then,
invaluable.
yeah. Well, and eventually we came on Adrian 47, who also he just started a project called the 30 Years War Mod, and he had such nice models. And my modding partner, Captain WSQ, sorry, I'm not English.
It's alright, me neither. This
So,
all the Americans and English people listening just have to
yeah.
sharpen their ears.
And he asked Adrian 47 if he wanted to join our team and make models for us too. And he, by my surprise, actually said yes. And then he sent us models, and I put them rather quickly in game, though I think the first unit model ever I put in a game took about an hour, and now I can do the same in 5 minutes. And then we released the mod actually, after making few unit stats changes, making them reload fast, etc. And yeah, that was really version 1.6. And well, after that, I went learning more stuff about modding, and we released 1.0 with new technologies, restricting line infantry because they simply weren't around in the 1650s. Armies were mostly.
Wait, like line infantry wasn't present in.
Well, yeah, they were, but not like we know from the Napoleon era. Every regiment had its own uniform, nothing was the same, actually. Well, with Napoleon you have the line infantry, fusiliers, grenadiers, and you didn't have that back in 1650. You had just guys who were armor and had something like a musket. I don't know the appropriate name in English.
Blunderbuss, maybe?
Yes, that's as an example. And they're just on the battlefield, and they were there if the state needed them to be there. And back with Napoleon, they were just regular armies, and they were there to defend the country, which in 1650, well, you had soldiers to defend the country, of course, but they're not around daily to defend the fatherland or motherland, depends where.
So it wasn't that professional in the sense. It wasn't that structured and organized as it was.
No, there were mercenaries and conscripts for the most.
Okay.
The regular armies came around the 1700.
Yeah. Well, it actually sounds quite great. I don't know how long we've been speaking, but it actually I did a first mod corner of season 2. So to be honest, I hope this will bring some more players your way.
Yeah, I hope it too.
Yeah. So actually, it was quite nice to have you on. This we already recorded with Gunny the first part of it, so you will arrive at the end, just so you know.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yeah.
Glad you wanted me, yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all, mate. Anytime. When you release next version or something, I can have you on again.
Sure thing. I'll keep you to that.
Awesome. So, guys, that was the Total Warcast. Sorry for a little bit split up. You know, it's different time zones and people have social lives and all that. But I really wanted to, well, thank you for listening, and I want to thank Brewster and Gunny for being with me today.
Not a problem.
Yeah, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.